Hello, hello. Hey everyone. Hey Twister, hey Eve. This is a last minute thing. I decided to do this tonight because we just got home from our search, day one search for 65-year-old Keith Conley in Knoxville. And um and it was crazy. Like we thought we had found some stuff and um he's only been missing 7 days. So it's a really fresh case and we're going back tomorrow. Normally I wouldn't do this live. Like normally I would just actually I think yeah, my sound's good. Normally I would do this live. Normally I would just do the research and try to pick places to head out tomorrow. And what I want to do is, and we can talk about, hey Rebecca, good to see you. And we don't have to talk about this case. The title of this live obviously only covers this case. Not Summer Wells, not Layla Santinello. I don't have that in the title. We can talk about that. We can talk about those cases, but I'm sure it's not going to bring in a whole lot of views up front or a lot of people coming in. Maybe, who knows? This was like last minute. So, but I wanted to kind of do this live and get thoughts from people on the case. We're going to be going through the map and actually trying to figure out where we should go tomorrow, where we should drop the either underwater drone or the air drone or Moon. We took Moon to a few places today, and we're working with two of the PIs on the case. There's two PIs. One is the sister of Keith, the missing man from Knoxville, and they've been helping us just understand where law enforcement's been searching in Knoxville for Keith and just all the circumstances around the case. I'll talk about that a little bit just to give you guys kind of a picture of what happened to Keith. This was only 7-8 days ago. So this is a really fresh case. We don't know where he is, but we think there's hot spots. There's places he could be. And so we'll talk through what happened in his case, and we'll go over some of the thoughts, what I can share, because obviously it's an active investigation. Knox County Sheriff is actively there. They've got helicopters going over. It was really hard to get permission or authorization to fly the drone to begin with, because the path he took to work, I'll cover his story, but the path this guy took to work was abnormal. He had a path that he's very habitual, according to the sister. He's very habitual. He follows the same route, the same road, the same highways. For some reason, this guy decided to turn off along the lake at some point. The investigators the two investigators don't 100% agree on what's the theories. They have their own theories, which is understandable. They're two different people, right? So they're gonna have their own theories. But one of the investigators, one of the PIs, told us that she felt like that's a faster route. He's an electrician and he had a job at a chemical company in Knoxville. And she felt like this might be the fastest route to get there. The other PI, the sister, actually said no. He followed the same route every day. He was habitual. He stopped at a local gas station, picked up the same exact breakfast he always gets, ice for his cooler, and just followed the same pattern. And for some reason, for that particular day, his pattern changed. Did he pick up a hitchhiker? And did he get carjacked? Did someone take over the vehicle at some point and head in that different direction? And I'm going to show you this on the map. I'm going to walk through what happened to him and what we're thinking about doing tomorrow, where we covered today, and kind of work through the map and try to figure out, honestly, the best places to search tomorrow. Again, either air or water and Nug and Adam are actually on the water right now. And so if we wanted to go on the water and do an underwater drone, I could probably text Nug and be like, hey, can we jump on with you guys tomorrow and drop the drone in at specific places? They probably have a plan though, so I wouldn't want to interfere too much. But yeah, I've been texting with Nug and Adam, in the morning and in the afternoon, just to touch base where they covered, where they're looking, and I told them what we found. So I'm going to cover the case a little bit. I'm going to give you guys the background on this, and then hopefully get your insight, like get your thoughts on looking at the map, looking at the story, where we should go tomorrow. Um, Multiple eyes are better than one. I mean, I could go through this like I normally do myself. Yeah, Nug and Adam are amazing, and they're out there. They're on this case this weekend. It's amazing. I was excited because I texted Nug and I said, "Hey, you guys, Keith Conley is missing in Knoxville. We're headed this weekend. If you guys have nothing else to do this weekend, this is a fresh case. 8 days missing, and there's a lot of water. There's a river there to search. So it's a perfect opportunity." He's like, "We're headed there Friday. Like we're already headed there." So this was a case they were going to cover anyway, which is awesome. And so they're in the water. Today we were on the land. We brought Moon. We can't officially use Moon as a SAR dog, obviously, because she's not certified. So we took her for walks and just kind of watched her behavior to see if we came near any HRD, any remains. I believe she would react. She actually did react, and at one point she reacted, and it was at the where the last ping. Again, I'll cover these locations where the last ping happened is a boat landing, and we were taking her along the perimeter, and she freaked out. You'll see this video in I'm not sure how long, but she started reacting, and I'm like, oh, she's onto something now. You can tell when she, and then it was like, then she sort of like froze and was looking at the grass, and Jen goes, "Oh my God." And I'm like, "Oh no, don't tell me there's something there. I can't believe this. This is like, there's no way it's that easy. People would see something there." And it was a huge beaver. Like I've never seen a beaver that big in my life. And it was like it had flies all over it and stuff. So we didn't reward her obviously because you don't want to mess her up, but she found a dead beaver. So and it freaked her out. She was like, smell was overwhelming. But I'm going to share the case with you real quick, and then we'll dive into where we covered today. And I'm trying to decide where to go tomorrow. And we need insight. We need ideas, because this is the most surreal, strange case that could be. It could be potentially some nefarious things going on, or it could be just he had a health issue and potentially drove off the road, went into the river. We don't know. So let me just let's cover this real quick. So the case of the TBI did issue a silver alert for Keith, and the way they described it was 65-year-old white man, 5'9", 5 feet 9 inches tall, 160 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Keith was last seen on 7/11, so it was basically 8 days ago, wearing a work headband, t-shirt, blue jeans, and tennis shoes. He was traveling. The PIs are pretty confident he was traveling in a white 2003 white Ford Ranger. They've got the tag right there, BFN 1492. Supposedly this is a picture captured on I believe it was the highway of his truck. So you can see it's very distinct. His truck is, now there was not misinformation, but sort of not 100% correct information at the beginning. One of the PIs had put out that it was an extended cab. It's not, as you can see, it's a two-door. But if anybody sees this truck in the Knoxville area with the bumper hanging, rusted out, it's a dead giveaway. That's his truck. He did have a Cobalt. As you can see, he had a Cobalt toolbox in the back, but that could be removed. Like that could be stolen or whatever. That rear bumper, if that truck is anywhere, that's going to give it away. If anybody sees that rear bumper kind of hanging on the right side. So he has a medical condition. I think it was high blood pressure, but I'm not sure. So stroke is possible. Not sure. But that may impair his ability to return safely. So we know that I'm going to open up the map and I'm going to show you the path we know he followed. man, I've been looking at, and the difficulty with, yeah, there we go. See the airport's right there. The difficulty with this area is there's a military air base in the search area. So like Beale Park is where we started this morning, and I'm going to show you the route that he might have traveled, most likely traveled. And he turned off of Pillissippi Parkway is, I believe, from what I understand, is the normal path he took to work, but from one PI. The other PI, so he basically turned off. He went this way for some strange reason, and nobody knows why. He went on what's called Topside Road. And so the beginning search basically was this boat ramp right here, TWRA. Now, if I show you the airspace maps, this is all red because you've got this is a military refueling field, and this is all restricted airspace. It's also Class C airspace for normal airport, which is like right up. That's actually the same airport, I believe. I'm not sure. But there's multiple airports in this whole area. And so I had to basically put in what they call Lance authentication or authorization for normal Class C airspace. Then I had to call the airbase and talk to a special airman, I think he was called. I got his name, and he said, I was like, there's a missing person in the area. They're asking for drone support. And I can't fly in restricted airspace. Like, I'm going to get a fine. It's illegal. Is there any way I could get permission for the next 2 days to fly? And he's like, well, you can't fly over the airbase. I'm like, well, we're not flying over the airbase. We're way at the river. And he's like, oh, at the river? Well, the river is kind of on the outer edge of the restricted zone. He's like, so long as you stay under the FAA has 200-foot limit ceiling on flying in this area with authorizations. So he said, as long as you stay under that, we're not going to make any issue of it. Like, go ahead and fly. So that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get authorization from the governing authority. So I called them up, and he gave me authorization. I've got his name. So the restricted airspace isn't an issue there, but I also had to put in authorization. So I got that today, and we started at this boat landing right here. The story with Keith is, and this is I have his address somewhere. I'll show you the starting point and where he was headed. And so it kind of shows you, and Knoxville, apparently, you would think the shortest route is if you Google something, McGee Tyson. Yeah, that's it, Twister. You would think if you Google a path, like Google Maps usually tells you the fastest route. But one of the PIs was telling me Knoxville is weird with roads because the fastest, quote unquote, fastest route isn't always the fastest route. Sometimes it's actually faster. Instead of taking this interstate to head up to where he was headed, which was some kind of chemical company up in this area, I believe, it's actually faster to take this route along the lake and then head up there, head up here somewhere. It's just the weirdest situation, you guys. And the route he took doesn't make any sense. But I'm going to show you the starting point where he left from. And we might talk a little bit about the circumstances that indicate maybe there could be some foul play, but I can't say a whole lot because this is an active investigation. Can't share a whole lot as far as that goes because definitely don't want to hurt the case. But I got the address. I'm not going to share his address. I don't want to dox the guy. You don't want to dox a missing person, but I just want to get to the neighborhood of where he started from. Text. How you guys doing tonight anyway? It's funny, man. You don't cover the big cases, and you only get your core tribe members coming in, right? Thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate you all. It's nice to have the support of people who will help you out, do some research with you, regardless of the case you're covering, even if it's some case nobody has talked about yet. This is brand new. There isn't any huge trending. I'm glad to hear that, Eve. it's not some huge trending case, but it's what we're focused on now and for the next 2 days, and hopefully we'll find him. All right, let me get the address here. Oh, see, 2 PIs, you never know where you got the information from. Yeah, this is hard. And we just got back tonight, you guys. Like, we just got back from this. So I'm literally eating. I got my supper here while I'm doing this research, just to get ready for tomorrow because we're heading out early in the morning. We were late today. And so I want to be prepared tomorrow to start at his address where his house was. Thanks for asking. Jen is doing good. She is, oh, here we go. She is, she it was hot today, so she wore shorts, and we didn't think we'd have to do any off-trail searching for this guy. But then we were at the boat landing, and there were trails into the woods, and I'm like, so she stayed out of the trail, and she's like, go ahead and take Moon into the woods. But Moon started going in, started sniffing around, and didn't want to keep going because she wanted to go back to Jen. So I told Jen, tomorrow, please wear pants. So we can, if we have to do this, we can. But she's doing good. She is trying to make more time to do these types of searches. But she likes to run too. So on the weekends, she likes to have one day to run. A weekend like this is really hard for Jen because it's 2 days of searching. So it kind of messes up her schedule a little bit, which is unfortunate. But we will get through this weekend and hopefully get some results for the family. And we'll have a normal weekend going forward in the future. We'll see. Thank you, Pam. Okay, I've got his address. We're going to trace through the route that he supposedly traveled that day and travels every single day. And he's a very habitual person. So he was supposed to, any deviation, when somebody does something, the same thing every day when they go to work, you know there's a problem. If they diverted for any reason, there's something not right, something weird going on. Oh, man. Idiot, I was sharing. Whatever. Hold on a second, guys. Let me fix that. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, okay. All right, now I can share. Okay, so I can't have a pin on here because it'll show his address, but basically he's in this area around here, the Mount Olive Road area. And so he would have taken this route out of here toward, what this is called Alcoa, I think. Berryville Pike. Yeah. And headed south. Yeah, that's right. So he would have headed south on 33, taken Governor John Sevier Highway this way. And then apparently, so the chemical company that he was headed to is in it's so weird, you guys, because it's in like up in this area. But the fastest route is not to go north. So you would think if he's coming this way, he'd want to go north because it's up here somewhere. But he actually heads south. Actually, that makes sense, doesn't it? Because you have to go all the way around this river. There's no shortcut to get across the river. So he would head south. Hey, Real Rockin' Robin, how are you? So he would head south. and then normally, from what I understand, jump on, this is called Pillissippi Parkway. Okay, so he'd head down here, Pillissippi Parkway, cross the river, and then head up toward work. That would take him up toward where he was headed at the chemical company that he was doing an electrical job at. That was the normal route. Now, this day, for some reason, and again, the two PIs disagree with one another, but it was to one of them, it was unusual for him to head down this interstate and take what they call Topside Road. Right here is Topside Road. So instead of going all the way down here and then this way, he went this way. One of the PIs said that's actually cutting off the triangle, she calls it, which makes sense to me because you're kind of cutting across, but you can't go as fast. So it's probably like people in the area may disagree on what's faster, going faster on the interstate this way or going slower, cutting across the triangle. Yeah, we're doing good. We are on this massive search this weekend using everything we have available in the Keith Conley case in Knoxville. He's been missing for 8 days so far. And so today we were out there just like doing everything we could. Thankfully, there's PIs to work with who have information and they can kind of guide us on where to go. So that's what we've been doing all day today. We learned a lot about the case today. We learned a lot about this area that I'm going to show you guys. And we're trying to figure out where to go tomorrow. Like, we might have to get into parts of the story. I can't share a whole ton of like in-depth detail about some of it because it's an active case, and I don't want to harm the investigation I don't want to harm the official case. So I can't share too much, but I'm going to share what I can, enough of what I can to get insight from you guys, like ideas of where we should go tomorrow. And I'm just going to say again, as I'm explaining this, he took this turn on Topside. So this whole area is like, why did he go this way? Why did Keith go across this way? One of the PIs said that's faster. The other one said he never did that. And he's a person of habit, so he would have gone down here in this way. Regardless, they believe he went to Topside. There's some evidence that I can't mention that suggests he went to Topside. That's also debatable because some people are saying it's not accurate evidence and the law enforcement's not being forthcoming. However, if you look at the flight pattern of the search helicopters that they're doing, they're obviously focused on this whole area along Topside. And apparently along near his house too. So that's interesting. But this whole area along Topside is a key. Good question, Twister. So he left for work, I believe, around 5:30. And again, he was up in this area, right? So 5:30, and he got to the interstate, and he headed down here by like 6 or 6:30 in the morning. And then what happened was he turned down here, Topside, and right about the Singleton Park area, this area right here where the bridge crosses, disappeared. There's allegedly, there may not be a ping in the general area from the phone, but nobody really knows because, again, law enforcement isn't that forthcoming about information. So there's a rumor of a ping. But regardless, most things point toward him on Topside Road. This was the area. I think there was even a sighting, whether it was an official sighting or not. There was a rumor of a sighting in the vicinity of this area here, this part of Topside Road. But again, you got to take sightings with a grain of salt because a lot of times sightings are false sightings. So what we did today was we drove all the way to Knoxville, obviously, which is like, to get this area is an hour and a half. And we started at Beale Park. So let me see if I can find it real quick. It's actually on the other side of the interstate. So we started down this area, this end of Topside Road, and you can see there is a cove here, but you have to think about what could have happened if somebody wanted to get rid of his vehicle for whatever reason. Well, boat landing is usually the place where you just take the brakes off or hit the gas, jam the gas and drive right in, right? Just push it right in. But this area has been sonared insanely. Hey, Mike, how's it going? This area has been sonared. Apparently, there were divers out there. They found a truck, but it was the wrong color. So this area, I think, has been searched like crazy. And I think most of this whole section, because everyone's looking in this area. Everyone's looking in this part of the river. Nug and Adam, I believe they went in at the top end. Shoot, where's that top side? That other park is another section of the river. So this general area is where Nug and Adam started, and I believe they worked through a lot of this today. I don't have the details. I didn't ask them for any details, but I'm assuming we saw their vehicles. So we know they were starting in this general area, and I think they ended up in Louisville at some point, which is this way. So I believe they went this way down river. And of course, knowing Nug and Adam, they're hitting the boat ramps. Adam loves to scan near boat ramps because, again, that's usually where the cars go in, right? Or they get rid of cars and stuff. So this was the area. Did I say the other area? This was the area, general area of the last known location, whether you believe the ping information or not. It was around here on topside. We started at Beale because we were going to work our way up. We saw Nug and Adam were at Singleton Park, at least this morning. They probably won't be tomorrow. They're probably going to start another area. But so we were like, hey, we're going to start down here, and we're going to go to the boat landing because their staging area apparently this morning for the search was Beale Park. So we were going to start at the TWRA boat ramp. And what I wanted to do was drone along the road to look for any areas where if there's no guardrail or there's just an open place that a truck could have like flown into. Because if he had a health condition and he had a stroke or something, that's the scenario where the truck just keeps going and flies off the road, flips over, goes into a gully or some deep area that nobody knows. That scenario has happened in the past. And so what I wanted to do is start at this boat ramp and scan in both directions. Scan down the road this way and look for any potential gully or deep areas like that where the truck could be upside down. Thank you, Robin. Hidden somewhere, and then once I scanned as far as I could, again, I had limited authorization. I had a radius I could fly in with permission from 2 authorities, so it was really touchy. Like I couldn't go very far, but I could at least go about to this point here, and then I was going to go this way, check out the bridge, check out the cemetery. And what ended up happening was, you guys, this was insane today. We thought we found him within like 30 minutes. Like we thought we found the truck. Because I took off from the boat landing. I scanned the water here, and you'll see this all on the video. We're freaking out because it's like, there's no way this is real. So I scanned the water, and then I started scanning this way, and you guys can see this house right here. I'm not going to give you the whole story because I want you to watch the video, obviously. But I found the truck. I found the exact truck. And it looked like a trap. It looks like a trap house, and like a abandoned, grown over big house. It looked creepy. When Jen and I watched the video, we're looking at this, and it's like this big, beautiful house, and there were vines growing up and all throughout it. And there were all these crap cars in the yard. Yeah, medical. I believe is on medication for something. I personally, the medical condition I thought could potentially lead to a stroke. But see, if it was a stroke, Twister, he would have hit the brakes. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody passes out, it would have been like. So I'd look for personally. I'd look for either curves, foliage like busted up, like you can kind of see something's broken, the limbs and stuff. That's stuff we were looking for on topside today. But during the flight, I saw a truck, and we went through. You'll see it on the video. There's a whole bunch of drama. and we were just trying to we were talking to both PIs. I quickly uploaded the video, sent them the video, so they were reviewing it, and yeah, watch the video. You'll see what happens. We, regardless, we continued our search because when you find something, when you're searching like this and you find something that somebody needs to follow up on to see if it's legitimate, there's nothing more you can do. You give the video, they might send it to law enforcement, they might not. It depends on what they find out, but you're just waiting. It's a waiting game. So if you find something like we did today, you send it in, you let the people know who need to know, and you move on. And so we moved on, and we ended up going to the sighting location. Found more from Conley suffers from chronic migraines, high blood pressure. I heard about. I didn't know chronic migraines. Ooh, a family history of strokes. I didn't know that part, Robin. Well, that increases the odds even more. Holy cow. Thank you. Yikes. So, first, Jen and I wanted to get rid of just wipe out Topside itself. We did, by the way, walk Moon around. And what we wanted to see, because Butch told us that if somebody is in water, so let's say somebody drove the truck off of this boat landing. No, his dog was not with him, and that's a very important clue, which you picked up on. I think that's what you're implying, but that is something that's really important. His dog was not with him. Now, I didn't know this until I started asking questions of the PIs, and I'm like, when I saw the truck at this location, I'll just tell you guys, I saw a tent. I saw something near the truck that told me, is he hiding? Did he run away? And is he hiding out from something, some scenario with his relationship or whatever? And so I was suggesting this to the PIs, to other people, and they were like, there's no way in hell, basically, because his dog was left home. And he loved his dog so much that he literally takes his dog on dates. He'll take the dog out to eat, because I guess he bought this dog for a ex-girlfriend that passed away, and so he loves this dog. This dog is not just his dog, it's his love of his life. It's his family, because he bought it for the love of his life, and she's gone. So there's zero chance that he's hiding. In my opinion, there's zero chance he's out there trying to hide, because he would have taken his dog with him, without a doubt. So that cancels out the possibility that there's for some reason trying to run away. He would have taken his dog, which only leaves the possibilities, in my opinion, of a stroke or a medical condition causing something to happen while he was driving. Or the worst case scenario, in my opinion, is the fact that he took a different turn. So he took a different turn on Topside, which one of the PIs, like I said, there's a disagreement, but if his normal path was to follow this highway, and instead of following this highway, he went and took a different turn, it suggests the possibility that did he get carjacked? Did he pick someone up who basically took over the vehicle at some point, and that's why he ended up traveling down Topside? I don't know, but that's a scenario that it could happen. And the fact that they lost any sign of him along here, any ability to track, it could be that evidence was basically discarded in that general area, and so where the truck is now is a lot harder to find in that case, because they could have driven down all the way to Topside to Louisville Road, and we drove all the way down Topside and got to Louisville Road, and it's left or right. Take a guess. We don't know where they went. We have no idea which way they went. So I've been considering the possibility that they turned around. It's so hard, you guys. Like, I have so many scenarios in my head of what could have happened to him, and it's almost like, was he set up? Was there someone hiding in the truck in the morning when he left for work? And so at some point they took over the vehicle. I don't know why they'd want to get rid of him. I have no idea why they'd want to get rid of him. I don't know that many details. There's some details I've heard that suggest maybe something like that could happen, but then it's like, where do you search? Because so many people, helicopters have gone up and down this river, you guys. Like, law enforcement's been going all the way up and down here. I think they're all assuming, whenever there's a missing persons case, everyone focuses on last ping or last, who knows where the last ping was, because nobody is being like straightforward about it. But this general area is where everyone's focusing. And well, Mike, if he did, I think he would have grabbed his dog. Like, when he left in the morning, if he was leaving his current girlfriend, wife, I'm not sure what she is, but for another girl, he would have taken his dog. Like, he loved his dog so much. So that tells me, like, it wasn't an escape. It wasn't him knowingly doing something like this. I think something happened on the way to work. Something happened to him on the way to work. And so we're actually thinking tomorrow of, I don't, sometimes it feels like a waste of time to cover the same area law enforcement's covering and everyone else thinks he ended up, because they've walked the road. They've searched the edges of the road on foot. He's 65, Mike. So Sean, it couldn't be he drove this every day. Like, he was a man of habit. That's what I was told. He was a man of habit, and he drove the same path every day. There's a debate between people about this part of his habit. Did he take topside every day, or did he take Pillisipipi? I can't pronounce it. Pillisipi. The family, I think, the person I've spoke to said Pillisipi. That's what he took. So I kind of lead in that direction because she would know his habits. And that means he diverted from his habits, or someone who took over the vehicle diverted from his habits. And we don't know why. To take the truck down here to do what? Discard of his cell phone, discard of the truck, maybe just a discard of the cell phone, which makes me think he's not anywhere in this area, because I think they just came here to divert everyone and all the searches in this area. Yep. It's not called Topside Road Boat Dock. It's called this, but yes, you're right. And at both boat docks. So the boat dock, I'm glad that's out there too, so I don't have to worry about sharing anything. This boat dock here is what was searched. The water was searched here. They had divers in there. Thank you for sharing that, Robin. So I know it's safe to talk about it. This was all, you could be referencing what I said earlier, whatever. This was what was dove. This is the whole area that law enforcement is focusing on. And I know that because that's public. The helicopters have been flying over this whole area. And so I feel like we're wasting our time in Topside Road. The PI, one of the PIs I'm working with might disagree, but she also agreed that both PIs have worked so hard on this area, and they've had searchers come in, and they did request us to drone this area. So we did that today because we're trying to be helpful. We're trying to do whatever they ask us to do. So we came to Topside, and I droned up and down. We went to both parks, Singleton and Beale, across the river. But I'm thinking tomorrow I want to be creative. I want to come up with some other scenario to check. There's two I have in mind, and I'm curious with this story, kind of what you guys think too, because I'm looking for creative ideas. Could he mistook someone driveway as a road? Again, this was his daily route, and this guy is apparently more habitual than most people. He bought the same thing at the gas station as he buys every single morning. It was like a breakfast sandwich, ice for his chest, for his ice chest or whatever. Same exact thing, same exact route, same exact pattern. and then suddenly today, gone, just disappears. The pattern changed slightly, possibly, but he was on his normal route and he just dropped off the face of the planet. Just dropped off the face of the planet. To help with ideas, oh, I need to share some information, but I'm just gonna say, consider the idea that maybe there was disagreements with the family, like in the relationship. Let's say there were disagreements, and the relationship's ending. So I'm not giving too many. I'm not. This is vague. Okay. Let's say a relationship is ending, and one of the spouses or whatever knows that their time at that house is going to come to an end soon. Probably, they're not going to be allowed to live there anymore. Imagine that's part of this scenario. Is there a possibility of foul play? Now, law enforcement is not saying anything. They're not even indicating there's foul play here. Nobody's indicating there's foul play, but this scenario, there's tension. Let's just hypothetically say it exists. If the spouse had a bad background and knew people, is it possible that they arranged someone back at his house to get in the truck? Maybe they got the truck unlocked. Maybe they prepared it so that this person was in the truck. I know I'm just totally like conspiracy theory. I know, but this is where I'm at right now. I want to be creative. I want to come up with different scenarios, other places to look other than where everyone else is looking, because that's where we're at right now. And I don't think we're going to have any luck looking where everyone else is looking, because they've scoured that riverside to death. I agree, Robin. That's a good point. They knew when he was going to go to work. They knew exactly what he was going to do. They knew where he was going to stop. And actually, Robin, you just made me think of something. They knew he was going to stop at the gas station, because he does every single day at the same exact time. So they didn't even have to be in his truck at the house. They could have jumped in the back of his truck. Well, this is a two-door, so there's no back of the truck. Maybe that theory doesn't quite work out. There's no back seat. So, or maybe they jumped in at the gas station. He got in, they pointed a gun, and they're like, drive. So that could still work. He could have gotten hijacked at the gas station, although I think there were cameras. But I don't know if it was pointed at his truck. They did catch him at the gas station. They know he stopped there. Don't know if they saw him get into his truck. But he could have gotten carjacked at the gas station where he stopped, and I didn't even think of that. So I was thinking maybe at the house, but there's no way he would have seen them. It was a two-door, not a four-door. So he could have been at the gas station. Yeah, he's 65 years old. So the gas station, Weagles, it was Weagles, I believe. Governor Sevier Highway. I'm going to show you guys where this gas station was. That might help actually try to figure out. That might help with trying to figure out where to look. How do you spell Weagles? That's this one right here. So there's the place he stopped. So what was the road again? Out this area, but he every morning he would drive down from his neighborhood and he'd stop at this Weagles, right, along John Sevier Highway. Get his breakfast. Bed of the truck, I think so, but then they'd have to somehow, I don't know, while he's driving, like point the gun through the window and be like, stop, so I can get in the passenger seat. That's why I'm thinking the gas station might be the most likely, because either he left the car unlocked, so they get in and, like, you know what I mean, get down under the seat, and then he gets in and they point the gun at him and they're like, drive, because they would get, down by the floor. That's the only opportunity I can think of someone would have been able to jump in the truck and actually hijack it and get him to drive somewhere, because he didn't stop anywhere else as far as I know normally. So that could have happened. And so if the truck is then hijacked at that point, and I'm just going through the story, okay, this is one scenario we'll explore tonight. He gets hijacked at Weagles, and they're like, drive. They go along Sevier Highway. For some reason, you guys, they directed him to go down. This is Alcoa Highway, I think it's called. Yeah, Alcoa Highway. So he went south there and then got on topside. They made him get off the interstate. Sorry, this is so. There we go. They made him get off the interstate on topside. And this is the other thing about Knoxville. You see there's a topside here? Well, that's not the topside I'm talking about. There's multiple topsides. So it's actually down here. Sorry, I got to find it again. Right here, topside. That's where he got off the interstate. They made him go down the interstate and take that exit for some reason to go down along the river. Where were cameras at the gas station and locations where they checked? Yes. The gas station cameras were finally checked, and the PI was the one who actually got proof that he was there, which is some drama between the cops and the PI, but I'm not going to get into that. The PI actually discovered that he was on camera there. It does, doesn't it? And the fact that he diverted his path to work also points to me to be some kind of kidnapping / carjacking. And so then it's just a matter of if they took him down, did they probably got rid of the phone down in this area. Was he still there? Was he still in the truck? Was he still, like, what did they do to him and when did they do it? Between this gas station here and this road and this park, that seems to be where something happened. Something horrible happened. And so in my opinion, and I'm curious what you guys think, is the focus point should probably be the area between Weagles and that park, or wherever the phone stopped pinging, which is debatable exactly. But this general area, which means, like, who knows where and what they did to Keith. Could it have been anywhere? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, could have been anywhere along here. Look at these wooded areas. Could it have been anywhere along here? That's a good question. I know he normally carries a weapon, but he didn't on this day, unfortunately. It's like one of the one days he didn't carry a weapon with him, which is sad because it would have probably become a viral video of a dude protecting himself from a carjacking with a gun, but unfortunately he didn't. So this is what I normally do. When I have something that feels like a right theory, I look for places where something like that could have happened. If they harmed him, got rid of him before at some point along this route, where would they have done it? Where's a secret? Where's a private place for that to happen? And I'm seeing some kind of construction site here. That doesn't look, there's a house right there. So there's this opening here. We might check this out tomorrow. And again, you guys will see this on video. So whatever you help us decide to do tomorrow, you're kind of directing the path of our video, the path of our investigation. So I don't know. So law enforcement may have license plate. All I know is TBI has that picture. If you look at the silver alert for Keith Conley, they got that picture supposedly of the truck during this day, and you can see that picture on the silver alert. I don't think they got the license. Maybe they did. That's why they showed that as the picture, because maybe they saw the license plate. Did that have a license plate? Oh, I don't want to lose my spot here. Let's just silver alert Keith Conley. Oh, where's that picture? Shoot. Well, I know that the person who posted everything is Chris, one of the PIs. So I'll go to Chris's profile, and it should be on there, I think. So this one is an AI generated. We figured out today, and they're going to be removing this one. This extended cab is incorrect. It's not the right one. They said to use the silver alert, and I'm having the hardest time finding the silver alert for Keith. If any of you guys could find the silver alert for Keith Conley, I'd appreciate it, because I'm having the hardest time right now. Maybe it's because I'm live and I don't want to. Silence bugs me. I should just allow silence and just look. Were there ponds there at the bottom of that wooded area? We'll take a look again, but I want to find the silver alert to see if it actually showed the license plate, or at least if they captured the license plate. And no, I'm sorry. Doesn't really matter. Let's go to, okay. Were there ponds there at the bottom of that wooded area? This wooded area? Yes, there were. The question is always, is it accessible though? And there's like private property here. There's a house there. There's a house there. I don't see any roads that go into it, but there could be. When we're down there, we'll check it out though, Robin. That's a good point. So we drove this today. We did drive this today. Or did we? I don't think we came in that way. We came in from here, from the north. Tomorrow we'll be checking out this area. So I don't know, Twister, actually. There could be. There's some shadow here, so. But I'm very curious about this opening, this area right here, which usually is power lines, but what in the world is this? Because I don't see power lines. That is weird. The heck is that? Are those hiking trails? Those are trails. Kimball's Ladder. Well, I think that's a park, possibly, with trails. Okay, well, definitely checking that out tomorrow. I'm going to pin that. That is weird. I'm going to pin that one. Saved. Oh no, I lost it all. I hate that. It's so hard to well, I'll just remember. From Weagles, we're going to check out this whole area here and probably those trails. And it actually looks accessible. That does look like a park, doesn't it? That's a boat ramp. Huh. That's a boat ramp. Thank you, Robin. You're awesome. Yay. Oh, I can't click on it. Let's just see if I can. Conley Knox COSO PDF. GPI. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Robin. You rock. Okay, so there's the vehicle. And anybody out there in Knoxville looking for Keith, this is the vehicle, and if you look closely, you'll notice that the bumper is messed up on the right side. I mean, you never know by now. It could be ripped off, but that's pretty distinctive. There's a ton of rust. The back bumper is messed up. So if you see a truck like this, and there's something up with the back bumper, either it's missing or there's a license plate right there. And they share the license plate too. So yeah, to answer your question, they captured the license plate. At the time when they captured this picture, there was that Cobalt toolbox in the back. There's a ladder, as you can see. Looks like some other tools and stuff. And some kind of bracket thing here. But as you can see, it's a two-door, very small work vehicle. That's his work vehicle. So anyone in the Knoxville area, anywhere you are in Knoxville, like keep your eyes out for this truck. It's so distinctive because of the back bumper. It's going to be messed up. So What's that? Coat hanger? Yeah. Oh, that's right. I wonder if that's what that is. Like some kind of literally coat hangered on. I don't know. It was messed up. So that truck is going to be very hard to miss if someone sees it. If they're actually looking for it, the back bumper is going to give it away. It's either going to be there like that or it's going to be missing. So, yes. Thank you. Back to the map. So I'm excited now because, like, I'm excited about a horrible case. I'm sorry. I shouldn't get excited about it, but I am excited about the idea of having a potential area that is close to the route they took, because I'm looking for places that forget the phone. That's where everyone's looking right now. Let's imagine between this place and when they dump the phone, what are there locations that they could have done something to Keith, gotten rid of him, hid him somewhere, and then moved on and got rid of the phone somewhere else. And they're going to put the phone, if they're a somewhat smart criminal, they're going to put the phone in a place that's going to send everyone in the wrong direction. They're going to be like, get the last ping in some crazy ass place that's kind of where he probably would have traveled to go to work and dump it. And so everyone is wasting all their time there. In my opinion, I think that's the case here. Because from what we saw from that area, like I said, we got one hit on something that I don't think it's anything. I really don't think it's anything. But I think that the most likely scenario is he was gotten rid of somewhere else, and it would have been somewhat convenient to where they ended up tossing the phone, in my opinion. And so this going up here to this boat ramp, and look at all of these have to be hiking trails along the tracks too. So this is, I don't know, we'll see tomorrow if these are hiking trails, but it looks like it, right? Upper beginner TRL. Yeah, I know, I'm thinking like a criminal, right? Like, where would I hide someone? But I really think they would get rid of the phone somewhere else and get law enforcement and everyone else looking in the wrong direction. But it's got to be convenient though. It's got to be quick. They would want to get rid of him first somewhere and then get rid of the phone as fast as possible, because they know that once he's identified as missing, or anyone identifies as missing, they're going to start looking at his phone first, and they're going to want to get rid of it as fast as possible. So to me, along the railroad tracks here with the water and all of these trails, to me, this looks really promising. And I didn't even think of this until right now. So you guys are actually helping me out a lot, just talking out loud and thinking through this. I didn't even see this on the map. I hope it's accessible. I assume it is because it's a boat launch, it would be nice if Nug and Adam, I don't know if you can get through here. Oh yeah, it goes under. So they could potentially get their boat in here too. I might just recommend to Nug and Adam, like, hey, this area looks promising. Take your boat through here and do a sonar check, possibly. I don't know how shallow it is, though. It doesn't look that great. Man, okay. So this might be the first place in the morning. You guys know how sketchy along railroad tracks always are too, right? Let's see, man. Okay, so that's one place. I really didn't think anything would jump out like that. That's crazy. There may be. So, I hate it that we can't talk about the case because, like a live case, but all I'm going to say is there potentially could be relational conflict that could lead to this scenario happening. That's all I can say. Someone wanting to get rid of him. Like, I think there could be that scenario here. I think it's a very strong possibility, and I wish I could share more, but I really don't want to hurt the case. So I'm just going to say there's a possibility of foul play, in my opinion, based on the very little I know. It would increase risk to have to get rid of truck and him separately. So water is a good bet. You think they would have? Okay. So the old school movie scene where they just like put a stick on the gas pedal and like sent his truck raging into the river. So I don't know that they did any searches here. And if they did that here, I think it's the first thing I do tomorrow. We're going to come here. I might even bring my magnet, actually. I got my underwater drone. I think this will be the first thing we do. I don't know if this has been searched. I know the other area has been searched. I don't think anyone's even bothered to go up in any other area. I think his house area has been searched. And watch me saying this. Who knows? Maybe there'll be helicopters all up through here tomorrow. But I don't know. We're definitely gonna check this out first. Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, there's trails on this side of the water, and there's trails, so it's accessible, easily accessible. But if what you're saying is true, then they would have just gotten rid of it right in the water here. Early in the morning, nobody there, most likely. I don't know if it's blocked from the road because it doesn't look like it, but I don't know if the satellite map is correct. There could be trees here blocking it. We'll find out tomorrow. It could be completely blocked off, and then they just let it go into the water there. The boat ramp would be a dumb place, though, wouldn't it? Don't you think? Because there's so many people launching boats there. I would think that would be a dumb place to drive a car in to hide a body, in my opinion. So it'd have to be a place that's not like a whole bunch of public, a whole bunch of people going all the time, like a road that would allow that, a hill into the water or something like that. See, this along here, there's guardrail. So I don't think he went flying off. Jen and I did ride down the Alcoa Highway today, and there's no way a truck would have gone flying off of that without causing major damage to the barrier. But now I'm thinking a scenario where someone rode with him in it, pushed the car into the water. What is this airport? I don't think that's publicly accessible. It could be. No, I don't think it is. I will tell you that Beale. Oh, good point, Twister. There are a lot of fishermen at that time in the morning. That is a really good point. That is a really good point. I don't know, you guys. Like, it's possible. So I know. Oh, wait a second. This is a different topside. I'll just check if there's any areas around here he could have actually. Somebody could have driven the car into the water. I think it's all private property. Yeah, these are all like big estates. There's no way anybody would be able to just dump a car over there. However, this river's edge here, I don't know what this road looks like. I guess we'll find out tomorrow, but it goes right to the train track, so it doesn't go any further than that. This is the end of that road. But that does go along the river. Houses, 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 houses. There's a drop. Huh. I'm curious to see what that looks like. Because that road, I'm assuming there's a barrier, but maybe there's not. I mean, can you drive a car right off into the water there? Right along the tracks. That's one to check out. There's another spot right there, right near the water. Yeah, I know. So what I was going to, on this, so what I was thinking today was we went to Singleton Park. This is where the last ping was and everything, this general area. And so we were like, oh, look at this place. Huge parking area right near the water. Turns out it's like completely gated off, so nobody's going in there. It's like highly secure. Again, boat landing, they're not going to do that. We did drive up TVA Lab Road. There's some place in here that's kind of sketchy that we want to check out too. but I don't remember. I'm gonna take another look tomorrow. I don't remember any place you could actually just drive a car down in here. Oh, maybe. But again, Nug and Adam were launching from this area, and they would have scanned this whole thing with sonar. So if anything is in this section right here, Nug and Adam would have found it today. I have zero doubt. Yes. So we walked over here, and we walked at the other. We walked along this park here. We walked along here. We drove along here, and it does look fairly deep in most areas. So it would hide a vehicle pretty well. I just don't think they would do it at a boat launch where there's a lot of people going in. But there's that park, and the other end. Let me just. I hope I'm not boring the heck out of you guys, but I'm just curious along this route if there's any other places that have an opportunity to drive a car down. There's a U-Haul dealer here. This is all wooded. That's a building, so no way to get to the water there. And then the only other place it goes back to the water is over here. There's a cemetery. Yeah, I know. That's what makes it hard. You're trying to sort of guess where a criminal would have made an attempt to try this. This is someone's lawn. I don't think that's going to work. There's no way to access this. This bridge, there's no way. We've driven across that multiple times. And here's the other boat ramp we went. Now, here's the thing I was thinking today when we got here at Beale Park that creeped me out. I got to be honest with you. And now that I'm thinking of this scenario, it really creeps me out. This is supposed to be the staging area, and we drove down here. And we parked over here. Nobody was there because we got there late. So I think they staged and left. Hey, Vicky, how's it going? This park, though, it looks wide open and as flat as you think. Like the way it looks. And I was thinking to myself, man, you could just drive a car down in there. You could absolutely drive a car down in there. But then I'm thinking to myself, they've got to have searched that area. Like of any area they Can you guys hear me okay? I think I lost my signal there for a second. Sorry. I think we're back. So yeah, this park, it does actually look like someone could drive down into the water. But again, it's so obvious. It's so close to where everyone else is searching. But they are kind of focused. See, they're focused up here. Well, that might be another spot tomorrow, I guess, because that one it just seems so obvious to me. There's no way they didn't search that yet. I might use my underwater drone in that place. Or I'll ask the PI first if they've actually checked this water, because that seems way too obvious, and sometimes the obvious thing is the thing. So, right? I mean, because everyone thinks it's obvious and nobody checks. But that's another one. So I think we've got 2 places so far that are worth searching tomorrow. Those trails are up in the other area are just crazy. I didn't even spot those. And then this park, I think. And I don't think we drove up in here yet. So there is that looks like, so that's a road with only stones. We might take a ride up in here because that kind of looks like it could be a potential. And there's a tire right there. So that's another possibility. Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out for tire tracks. Look at that. That's like, a boat, I guess. This looks like a weird area right here. I'm bringing my magnet tomorrow because when you start seeing stuff like this, I think that's a tire. That's definitely a tire in the water. Then you've got a lot of crap in the water there. And that looks like a Jeep trail too that goes this way. Oh, that just goes into the land. But this whole area, that's pretty isolated. That's easy access to the water. There's a lawn. There's a tire and other garbage in here, which means people might come here to dump stuff. So that's another good one. That's another good one. If carjacking, person would have to get away on foot if truck stayed in the area. Exact. That's a good point too. I mean, walking along, I've seen people walking along this road. Oh, unless met by someone. So in this area, they could have had someone meeting them, like go to Beale Park and park. And if they dumped here, they would have walked to the park. Or if they dumped here, they would have just been at the park. Oh, there's so many possibilities. I think we're going to go with the scenario of they got rid of the phone somewhere else. They got rid of him and the truck. Because I like whoever's theory that was, I think it was Mike, that they would most likely get rid of both at the same time. Because would they want to keep the truck? That's a huge risk, right? Driving up and down, especially now, everyone's looking for the truck. So they would not want that truck to be associated with them. If they're going to get rid of him, they're going to get rid of him and the truck. And I apologize to the family talking like this. We're just talking through scenarios to plan for tomorrow. I hate talking like that, especially talking with the family sometimes. I always apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry we're talking like this. They're always very understanding. They have to too. They have to consider every scenario, but it's just sad. But I think we have like 4 now. We have Beale Park. We have those tracks up there, the trails, and we have that opening that goes up to the trails. And that's a lot because I'm going to do underwater droning here. It's probably a security risk telling everyone our plans tomorrow, but I needed help tonight. I needed other minds to think this through because this is a hard one. Thank you. And I don't see any other, unless they kept going along topside. Took old topside. And then started going around the river. But now you get into like, I don't know, residential. I really don't want to waste my time going up this side of the river. Farmland. I don't think there's as easy access over here. See all the beautiful houses. There's no way you can get access to the lake there to dump something. As far as I can tell. Yeah. Hey, Andy, how's it going? We are trying to get rid of evidence, which is horrible. Trying to get rid of a car with someone in it in this general area. And how would they do it? How would they do it? Where would they do it? Inquiring minds want to know for our search tomorrow. See, these are all houses all along here. There's no way you could just drive up somewhere. Oh, this is interesting. No, that's someone's house. Oh, man, there's another one. There are so many boat ramps on this lake, you guys. This is insane. Yeah, I agree. It would, oops, sorry. It would, well, the thing with when I have a drone over the water, the nice thing about dark vehicles is they show up like a shadow. I have no idea what a white one would look like. I guess, yeah, you're right. It would show up like a glowing with the sun reflecting on it. I think you're right. Yeah, it's very the fact that he had the same routine and the fact that he just all of a sudden disappeared halfway through the routine. It's got to be foul play. In my opinion, it's got to be something caused him not to show up. If it was a health condition, I think he would have been found. He would have driven off the road. They searched these areas to death, and it would have showed up. Somebody would have found it if it was just driving off the road, I think. But like boat ramps like this park with a boat ramp, here's another one, and it's pretty isolated. I wish there weren't so many freaking boat ramps on this lake. You realize how many there is to check out? There's no way that one would work. That's like a docks. That's docks. So yeah, I think the idea is to not really focus in where everyone else is with the phone signal, um, except for this one because it feels so obvious that maybe nobody checked. But we're definitely going to go up here, and then I want to go where nobody else is. Where fewer people are thinking, and that's basically up Alcoa, up here. Is that where I was? See how easy it is to get turned around in Knoxville? Yeah, this area. I don't think anyone's thinking about up here. It's still near Weagle's where he was, and it would be quick. So I definitely want to check that area out. The road along the highway here. Yeah. I have feelings something more going on with a female Minash. Um, I have feeling something more is going on with a female. Not sure why I feel this way. Like he was being pulled into this, being pulled into this, being pulled into what? And I'm very curious if you are getting anything else on that, Mike, because well, I did say relationship. So, but if you're getting anything in more detail, please let me know because I feel like you could be onto something. But I don't understand the being pulled into this. Being pulled into what? Unless you mean a different person who did it. In which case, I'd like to talk to you more about what you think. Given the circumstances, I would be on high alert, especially given this video. Yeah, I will be. You mean me tomorrow? Yes. And we definitely will not follow the order I said. I said we'll go to one place in the morning. I'm actually going to probably jumble it up. Nobody knows where we're going to be. There's 4 or 5 locations here. So yeah, but I am armed and everything. Did he have social media? I don't know. That's a good question. Let's take a look. Robert Conley, Facebook. Robert Conley. It's a very good question. A lot of times that does reveal clues. If you could find the person. Usually I can just typing there. What was that with Trump and Hillary Clinton? That was funny. I don't know what I was looking at there. Robert Conley. He wasn't a truck driver. He was an electrician. Hey, Cam. Oh, yes. Well, we found one today and it was so surreal with a truck that was the wrong truck, I think. Extended cab. But again, it's being investigated. It's being looked into possibly. But anyway, that first day, I don't want to give too much away. You guys will see it in the video. And yeah, there was an abandoned property. I think there could be other vacant properties, and we'll keep our eyes out for anything like that. This place looked like a trap house that we found today. Where there was like a tent outside. It was the creepiest thing. It was so weird. But I don't think it's anything. So I want to find him. Where is he? Maybe he doesn't have social media. Too bad. Usually I can find it if I type someone's name and like the town they're in. His name was Keith, right? Yeah. For some reason, I remember seeing Robert on one of the things. It's Robert. Keith Robert Conley. Interesting. So maybe he was Robert on Facebook. Is that the same guy? I mean, younger? I don't think that's him, right? That's a different guy. Yeah, totally different guy. That's not him. Okay. You never know. Could be his younger picture. Okay, no Facebook. Thank you, Robin. Yeah, that's not him. Shoot. Okay. Yeah, he does look related, I know. Like the nose looked exactly. It was weird. Maybe it's relative. How strange. Older people sometimes don't use social media. 65-year-old. Work t-shirts, tennis shoes, medical condition. It's not a whole lot to go on. And what little we know, it's pretty much this general area. And we know he traveled from that Weagles down to this area. So we've got, thanks to you guys letting me think out loud, we've got like 4 or 5 good areas for tomorrow, I think. That usually will eat up the whole day. If there's more time, we might just literally keep on continuing on Topside to Louisville Road, turning right, which is the way he would have probably gone if he was headed to work anyway, and just start hitting the places. Like, actually, that is the next boat ramp, the one I was looking at, Louisville Boat Ramp. So if we have time, we may go to Louisville Boat Ramp too. What is the Ford's Nest? It's just a band of trees. It's just a picnic area. Okay. What's going on back? All right. So that is that case. I think that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We have, and I'll give you, for those of you who hung around with me, I'm going to give you a little bonus. I'm going to give you a little insight into what's happening in the Layla Santinello case, I think. I will, just if I ever go missing, I would want y'all to thank you. I don't know. I mean, give us some time to start actually like landing some successes. Maybe now the moon's getting trained out. But I just feel like we're just trying as hard as we can and not finding anything. And it's really frustrating, to be honest with you, Robin. I appreciate you saying that, though. You can bet your bottom dollar we would never give up. We would never give up, at least. Layla Santinello case. There's been, I can't share a whole lot. There's like discussions on. I have put out that video. I put out that video asking people to, and nobody's going to find this because this is at the end of an unrelated video. So you guys are like getting secret information that hardly anybody else is going to see about the Layla Santinello case. So thank you for sticking with me throughout all of this video. I put out that video asking someone to come forward. Oh, thank you, Cher. Thank you so much. We asked someone to come forward to just give us anything about the location of Layla Santinello, and expecting to not get any, really honestly, to not get any information at all. Because we've tried that with other cases before, hoping somebody would just come out of the woodwork. Like Summer's case, I think I put a video out there saying, "Someone please come forward and tell the truth." And other people have done that in Summer's case, and it never goes anywhere. Well, I got contacted by a wonderful, um, kind person, younger person, who has a lot of insight into the Kingsport drug community and the circles, and had a tough life. Had I'm just gonna I don't want to share too much because I promised her privacy. But she had a tough life because her parents were in that world, and I started getting the opportunity possibly to talk to some people who are potentially involved, and it's caused a lot of consternation, I guess is the right word, on the other side, because on the other side being like, the team that's investigating and searching, because you do you talk to a suspect in a case and risk hurting the case? And if you do or do you talk to a suspect in the case and just not publish it and just send it to law enforcement? Or does it depend on what they say? Like if you think it doesn't hurt the case, do you still publish it? Will that help things? Will that get information out there? Like it's an ethical dilemma at this point that I'm struggling with, because I don't want to hurt the case. I do want to talk to this person. And I do want to, depending on if the information I don't think would hurt the case, it's just informative. However, some of these people have not been publicly identified as suspects. Although I think there are people who know they're suspects, so I don't know. So I'm going through that right now. Like I have the opportunity to interview, uh, yeah, people who I think it would shock everyone to see this person actually talking, and they're willing to do it publicly. But would that piss off law enforcement? Yeah, yeah, that's what I feel like, Robin. Like, you've seen me interview in the Sierra 55 case. I've interviewed people, and yeah, some of them lied. Some of them lied. And a lot of people are like, well, if they lie to you, you're going to be manipulated. No, I'm not. You just double check the facts. And if they've lied to you, you expose them as having lied to you. And that helps inform the case and that they're lying about specific things. But then again, if it's not that public that they're a suspect and law enforcement, I'm afraid I actually don't want to piss off law enforcement. Like I don't want to step on their toes and interview this guy, and like all of a sudden everyone knows they're a suspect or that they're being investigated, and it's been leaked. It's been leaked on on an astronomy TikTok channel, like little channels that nobody really picked up on. It's been leaked um, in other places, but I don't think anyone's picked up on it. That's the thing. That's a tough one. I think everything to law and give them time with it. Give it, yeah. I think you're saying give it to law enforcement. So do the interview, give it to law enforcement. Your heart will tell you if you think it's going somewhere or not. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Here's the problem. I don't know if I trust all of law enforcement. I'm afraid there might be one or two that are part of the same world. You know what I mean? Like not all of them. I think most of the cops around here are not corrupt. People may disagree with me, but I am afraid there are some bad apples, and so I don't know that they'll do the right thing, or I don't know. Yeah, that's what we're thinking through. I think I'm gonna either way. I'm gonna interview them, and we'll have it recorded, and we'll send it to law enforcement. Maybe, Depends. I don't know. It will be, yeah, we will. We are headed out early. Gonna get that search done, and I think tomorrow's gonna be underwater journaling. That's a good point, Robin. That's a good point. I need to give her a call. I haven't talked to her in a while, and she always had really good advice. And this is the type of thing that it's kind of like unique that we haven't dealt with that often. I will ask her that. Thank you. Yeah, our mentor. She was having issues with her family. There was some mental, there not mental, there were physical illness issues that she was dealing with. I didn't want to bother her, but I think that's behind her. So I might actually give her a call. Thank you for reminding me of our military mentor. She was wonderful, and she always helped in times like this. She helped us through when we were getting attacked in the early days of our YouTube journey. She helped us deal with that. So it was amazing, just the advice she gave. And she actually led to the whole policy of blocking all those channels, not allowing them to interact with our channel, and ignoring them, and basically they're dead to us kind of policy. And laying down the law, like this is our policy, and if you want to come after us, this is the deal. And it's worked. Like it's really helped with, we just don't even see what nasty people are saying, and the people who are wonderful, the channels that are actually doing good work, and want to collaborate or whatever. Yeah, they're just like, it's an amazing community once you weed out the jerks and the bullies. It's just, YouTube's a much better place when you actually follow that policy, in my opinion. Just ignore them. Yeah. Yep, I agree. I'm going to ask her. That's a really good point. And she knows law enforcement. Her dad was actually a high-ranking law enforcement in Florida, so she might actually ask him. I have a feeling what they're going to say. Don't publish it right away. Save it, like I did in the Sierra 55 case. Store away those until somebody gets arrested, and then publish it. But I have a question why I don't see share. Share might have blocked you for some reason. I don't know why. If you're blocked or you block someone, or maybe you block share, I don't know. Or maybe I didn't. Yeah, I highlighted her. I don't know. Usually it's when someone has blocked you, but I don't know why she would have. If you're in Knoxville tomorrow, be prepared for. Oh no! It started raining today. It started raining today, but it stopped. I'll have to check the weather. I hope it's not raining all day. Well, that stinks. Okay, maybe it's YouTube. I can't see share blocking you unless you went on her channel and just started slamming someone. I can't see you doing that either. So, oh, great, wonderful, rain all week. Well, maybe the search won't happen tomorrow. We'll see. I'll check the weather. If there's a break at any point in the afternoon, we'll just plan for the afternoon or go in the morning. But all right, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. The couple dozen that were here, appreciate you guys for coming in, even though this wasn't a typical popular case. You guys are amazing for coming in. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, helping me think through this case that we're working on. It just goes to show how dedicated you are to our channel and to helping us in every case, regardless of whether it's popular or not. So thank you so much for being here. For those of you who stayed here and helped me through this, you really helped me tonight. Like, I have locations I probably would have thought of if it hadn't been for a bunch of your questions. So I really appreciate that. And I was hoping that's what I get out of this tonight. So thank you guys. Thank you. Have a great night. Thanks for the prayers. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Love you all. And we'll see you next time.